Alright, welcome to my channel. We're going to basically, nothing fancy today. I'm just basically organizing my GI Joe comics. In an earlier video I talked about how I've kind of gotten back into GI Joe. And, you know, it's basically fueled by seeing a clip on the internet saying that the original Snake Eyes had passed away. So seeing that, I kind of, you know, that caught my interest, and little did I know that it reintroduced me into GI Joe. I had to actually start off with the old comics, so I was able to win an eBay auction where the seller had a box of the old Marvel comic series, so I could get caught up to the whole backstories. Because you have to be a certain mature mind to read this. I don't think this was intended. Larry Hama never really intended this for a 9 to 12-year-old mind. This is more for young adult to adults. So it's kind of good that, you know, I read it now than back then, because, you know, I'm like, I was too, you know, I just wanted to smash and stuff. Anyway, so the storyline of the new GI Joe series is basically centered around Snake Eyes has passed away. So we'll have the bareness here if you look at what I'm talking. So Snake Eyes is dead, but at the same time, a gentleman named Sean has assumed the identity of Snake Eyes. So he's Snake Eyes number 2, okay? And at all the same time going on, this young Mexican-American girl has, through something with Dr. Mindbender, has acquired the memories of the original Snake Eyes. So she's out there and she's been trained in martial arts, but now she has Snake Eyes memory. So she is literally a killing machine. Like, she gets, you know, Snake Eyes takes over her body, and she's on these missions of whatever Snake Eyes didn't do while he was alive that may, you know, he took with him to his grave. They're resurfacing, and he's kind of the last things he needed to finish before his soul. It's kind of like the Crow. So that's a good analogy. This whole series is like the Crow, except that in this case, Snake Eyes' mind has taken this young girl's body, and the artwork is good. The storyline is phenomenal, and I looked at some Marvel. I'm not a comic expert and not really into it, but I pick up issues here and there. Nothing has stuck. Like, these things are phenomenal. So without further ado, let's begin. This itself, look at the cover of that. And this is actually sold out. So IDW, this is the first print, and it's really tough to find anywhere. They're actually on variants and second printings right now. So if you're able to find it, pick it up, because chances are it's rare. And IDW is not, you know, that's amazing. That's smart of them to do that. So I'm going to share some other stuff. Oops. Sorry about that, just organizing. So I picked up, this is the variant of issue 246. So it's the whole dawn of the Kashi Kage. I can't pronounce that right. Because that's the clan that Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes are a part of. Storm Shadow obviously being born into it, and Snake Eyes earning the right to be a member of it. Now here's the thing what I like. In the GI Joe television show, it mentions nothing about the connections and relationships of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And if you go from the cartoon to the movies, the crappy movies that are made now, man, I mean, I feel, don't do that. Go in and read the early Marvel ones, because the connection of Snake Eyes, and all this time, you think that Snake Eyes is the enemy because of the toy. Snake Eyes is actually a member of the Joe team. for much of his career, and worked with Snake Eyes and the Joes. So he's mostly a member of the Joe team, but you would not know that. Also, you know about Zartan, Cobra Commander. There's so many things to Snake Eyes that you will not know unless you go back. And this issue right here, issue 26 from the Marvel, is kind of opens up a little bit. And there's also another issue about Cobra Commander and his son Billy that tells you more about how, you know, the connections between all this. And it's such a well-written story, and when it unfolds, it's beautiful. And then you fast forward to 2018, that's phenomenal. So here we go. So these are the two issues, 246, the two different variants, copies. Again, sold out, folks. So the next is issue 247. So I'm going to say her name is Dawn Marino. I think that's the right way to pronounce her name. So Dawn is actually on quests that Snake Eyes' memory is taking over and putting her on. And she's killing master ninjas. And yeah, you see that is Storm Shadow. And that is her. I'm not going to reveal too much, but the artwork in this is freaking phenomenal. Like, look at that. I mean, it's just kind of reminiscent of issue 21 in the Marvel. There are words, and this particular issue doesn't have too many words, but it's just wonderfully drawn, and the storyline is just phenomenal. So this is issue 247. And all of this is the goal to get up to issue 250. That's like their milestone, what they have. So Larry Hama must be drinking some really strong, good coffee, because he's cranking out some masterpieces. And I heard that wasn't the case. A lot of people are kind of disappointed with IDW, like, you know, and I don't know anything about that. And I'm not going to pretend I know, because that's insulting, you know, some of the knowledgeable people we see on the internet with GI Joe knowledge that I don't have. And I don't want to step on their toes, or, you know, not anybody could do what they do. And, you know, I appreciate what they do. I learned a lot, you know, with this. So this is issue 248, and you see the Baroness and Dawn in her Snake Eyes outfit. What's interesting is the Baroness doesn't make an appearance in this episode, but look at the artwork on this. I mean, like I said, I'm not a diehard comic reader, and I pick up comics every now and then, but I'm hook, line, and sinkered into this story. It is a very good story, and good thing I have a wife that encourages me. My wife, Farah, is like, oh, you know, she's very supportive. Oh, that's a secret. Didn't want to let out. But look at this. Again, this whole series from issue 246 to 250 is like slim pickings, man. So I was able to return to the comic store, and the guy was like, oh, you're back already? And he found two earlier, issue 241 and issue 242. So I kind of get a little bit of the backstory of G.I. Joe and what has led to... I still have to get the death of Snake Eyes. That's, you know, I'm searching eBay for that. Maybe I get a good deal. I don't know. I mean, this is the time to get into G.I. Joe. Here's some earlier editions. I mean, look at the artwork on this. And then you compare it to a modern Marvel book. It's like, I looked at... there's a Wolverine, the new Wolverine. It was a girl, and the storyline in it is absolutely terrible. I just skimmed through it, and I actually saw another video, the Diversity and Comics guy. My God, he's funny as hell, but, you know, he was hitting the head of the nail, like, you know, driving that point home, that the artwork and the storyline, it's like B class. I think these companies are just cranking out shit for movies because that's where the money is, folks. Not in comics where everything originated from. So their cash cow is making movies, selling rights to this shit, and companies like IDW, they don't have any, they're concentrating on, they need to keep this up because they're putting out some masterpieces. So, all right, we're going to just put away these comics in their proper storage. So, nothing really exciting. Again, this is a wonder. I wish this was a poster. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Does that say badass or what? Snake Eyes is the fucking man. So, there's that. I think we'll go back. Yeah, nice issues. All right. So here we have issue 246 again. I think I'm not really, I'm neat and tidy, but it's not like, oh my gosh, if I get something, it's going to lower the value. You can't be that. I mean, that's why you go to college and you get a job. I'm not going to worry about a $3 comic. But anyway, so this looks pretty nice. That's a pretty good presentation with the two versions of, and you'll say it there. See, you'll say cover B and cover A. And again, both of these are slim pickings, man. So go to your comic store and ask for a GI Joe because you'll be doing yourself a favor. All right, so the next one. I don't want to put away the ones I haven't read. Right here, 247. And 248. I don't know if I'm doing a cardinal sin of putting 2 in 1. Maybe the comic book collector gods will not smile on me. Well, tough shit. Because I don't give a fuck. Alright. I will put till issue 250 comes out, which is this week. So I love stores like the comic store, and there's a recycled DVDs in Vero Beach. Small stores that they know your name and stuff, and they take good care of you. I can't get over that cover. That's nice. All right, so what's the next one? I'm trying to keep them somewhat together. So I guess the 290. 91, 93, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could count. All right. So we'll put, hopefully when I read these issues 242 and 241, they'll give me the idea, the backstory of how the aftermath after Snake Eyes passed away, and how Sean has assumed the mantle of Snake Eyes, and then how this Dawn Girl comes into effect, because I'm saying stuff and I'm not knowing. So I know there's people out there like, oh, that's not how it goes. Well, I'm not there yet, guys, so bear with me. But my video is just basically to showcase that these are wonderful comics and you're cheating yourself. If you call yourself a comic book reader and you want a good story, GI Joe's where it's at. It's for big kids. And with that said, there's My Little Pony. You know, it was funny. Growing up, I was mostly boys.